historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Saints and the Steelers, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the AFC champion, taking on the NFC champions, the New Orleans Saints. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, excited for this one. I mean, Charles, the Steelers back in the Super Bowl once again, their 9th appearance overall, second only to the Patriots' 11. But if the Steelers win this one, then they'd be on top of the all-time win standings, as it would be their 7th title.
What a franchise. Come on, join me for a minute, okay? Come back to the 1970s with me. Back to the steel curtain defense. Back to Terry Bradshaw, quarterback. Throwing to Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. Franco Harris running the football with Rocky Blyer. That team was something, all right? And that started the path to where we are right here, right now. This team's pretty good, too. And they want their own history. What an accomplishment this would be to win a 7th Super Bowl title for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Meanwhile, for the New Orleans Saints, quite a series of events led them to this point. You had Drew Brees retired seasons in a year ago, and you think about all the heartbreaking postseason losses that this team went through the last few years, but they pulled it together, CD, and find themselves in the big game for just the 2nd time in franchise history.
And they thought they would have been here multiple times before. You've got to respect this franchise and this organization, though, don't you? Because they've somehow been able to move past all those tough losses. The Minneapolis Miracle, the pass interference, no call, going out at home the last 2 years, first in overtime in Minnesota on another controversial play, and then to Tom Brady last year. A resilient bunch, this New Orleans Saints team.
So here are the Steelers backed up to start their initial drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And he's been sensational all season long, but he saved his best work for the playoffs, leading his guys to the AFC Championship a couple of weeks ago. And now he knows what lies ahead. He's going to need to play a near-perfect 4 quarters of football to get his guys to the finish line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Bradshaw. Over the middle. That's caught by Miller. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Foster. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
A first down carry for Foster. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
first down. Bradshaw. And that's going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Bradshaw on the right side. This is Miller. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Back to throw again. This will be caught by Brown. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll look to throw again. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in his opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And all of that, nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way you wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
Successful field goal try. Here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. So here are the Saints with a long field ahead. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And he comes in off of a tremendous game in the NFC Championship round 2 weeks ago. This has been a team all season long that's really taken their identity from their quarterback, and he's been very vocal in the days leading up to this game that he believes that this is their time, and he's going to do all he can to will them to a Super Bowl win. From
down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brees. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, you got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd down, Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Big conversion. They were backed up deep to start the drive, able to pick up the first.
So the goal is at least a first down here, right? Pick up a first down, give yourself some breathing room, and if you have to punt after that, maybe you've helped with field position and you've helped out your defense.
And avoided a 3 and out on their opening drive. Now Thomas. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Now Brees. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Brees now on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick 6s over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately, I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick 6, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison of the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended. That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall him on. What a play here. Another pick 6 in the Super Bowl. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Now Brees to try again after the pick six. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. On play action, now Brees. And this is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing now is Brees. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. They'll get this out to Kamara. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 36-yard line.
On the ground, it's Thomas. And this will wind up a Saints first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Brees now. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. This is Thomas. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Brees. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Saints on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Brees. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And a screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring out the 4th down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive, because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Brees to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. Here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. That was one of their own.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tackling's obviously critical down near the goal line. That was great work there to make the hit behind the line and make sure he doesn't get any further. Did a really nice job wrapping up and not letting him loose.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. Two minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Brees now on 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. And this one is right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good job there to kind of weather the storm in that first quarter and come back with their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, you hate to be coming from behind early on, but you're exactly right. They took some time, able to move the ball, and now it's back to a 10-3 game.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Back to throw. Bradshaw looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. And that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. A 40-yard punt, given 3 on the return, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Brees now on 1st down. His throw incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Brees going to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
They ran that one well. And not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, it's Brees. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Brees. And he comes back with one complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From midfield, here's Brees. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Brees. And that is incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Brees. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Brees now to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Yeah, this defense rallies and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll bring him back within 4. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Instead, the punter out to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled into 20. One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Bradshaw to the right side, complete to Miller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Back to throw. Bradshaw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Operating from the gun. Bradshaw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. The final shot before break. Bradshaw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports halftime report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Saints. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.